looking strong.
Yeah, still looking so strong. We'll see if we can pull in some audio here. There we go. They're both just moving so strong here as well. And Mika is going to be our third place women's finisher. So on the ladies' side, we have Sarah Ostaszewski and Eliza LaPierre in first and second. Mika Thew is going to be our third place woman. And on the men's side, we had Mike McKnight, Josh Perry, Michael Greer in the taking up the podium spots, and then crowd favorite Mr. Kevin Goldberg was in fourth, Jeff Garmeyer in fifth. So Mike Groenwegen is going to be our sixth male. And I believe these are going to be eighth and ninth overall in the overall standings.
You guys are going to go right around the fence. Good. Been watching you guys for a couple days. Impressive.
And it's awesome to be able to just not only get to follow these runners here, but get to just listen in.
Then you just hug the fence left. Just hug around the fence to the left again.
Question in the chat. How come everyone's packs are so full? The remoteness? Yes, partly there is required gear. So they are required to bring, I believe on this section, jacket, beanie, gloves, emergency blanket.
Well, and Mike and Mika do not have crew.
Correct.
So they would be taking stuff from their last drop bag location, which
make that right,
I don't
like
know
through
where
that
that
rock
is.
and then down the hill.
Is there a drop bag at Fort Tuthill, or at Walnut Canyon, I mean?
That I do
Or
not
is
know.
Fort Tuthill the last one?
Fort Tuthill, maybe?
Fort Tuthill, I thought had drop bag.
Oh, yeah.
The aid station table doesn't have, that I'm looking at, doesn't have drop bags on it, unfortunately, but... see if I can find... Yeah, and I've got that right here, so it looks like there was drop bags at Walnut Canyon, so...
oh, there was.
Yep. Yep, so they were able to have a drop bag at Walnut Canyon, so they would have picked up all they needed for the last 22 miles, essentially, there. And so that's, so they're just carrying everything with them. Again, they're now out of Buffalo Park. They are on the Switzer Canyon Trail, heading kind of down to the roads of Flagstaff. Really, really beautiful downhill stretch of trail right here that kind of links one of the kind of main roads on the north side of Flagstaff to Buffalo Park. We got Matt Halverson in the chat for you, Bryce.
Oh.
Bryce, I hope you're ready to do this again in October. Also, sign up for the Javelina 100K already.
One was on my list. One of these days I will. Matt is actually running Moab 240 coming up this year. He got in through the lottery.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So Summer and I will be out there doing this again in the not-so-distant future. Excited for it. Getting a little sleep deprivation training in for it now.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to just dial in your sleep strategy, Bryce. I don't know what it was, but is there a chance maybe it was too much sleep?
I
No,
mean,
I'm feeling good after.
I got more than 70 minutes. I'll say
Yeah.
that in the last
I'm just
24
saying.
hours.
I think there's a sweet spot. Maybe we'll have to do some research, some testing.
Maybe you slept too much even.
I think I slept apparently just the right amount. We'll see how long the energy level lasts.
There was a comment in there earlier asking us if we have any input on training for a race like this, or even 100-mile. And I don't know that we're the most qualified people to talk about it, but
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I'm probably the least qualified person.
But hopefully we are able to talk to some of the finishers throughout the rest of the week. Being up in Flagstaff, it wouldn't be too inconvenient, I wouldn't hope. So hopefully we're able to bring some of those people who actually did it on and would probably have some more sound advice.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to get some advice from experts instead of two schmucks sitting in the studio
Yeah.
who watch people run this far.
And are talking about how tired we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a beanie bopping performance by these two. Solid, Matt.
I will say it is a little chilly out there.
Oh, yeah.
And especially, I'm sure you're really cold if you've been running for, 3.5 days at this point.
Temperature regulation just gets pretty wonky, even after, I mean, like a hard 50K effort. Like, you sit down and for 30 seconds and shaking uncontrollably for me. Bryce is a schmuck. All right, Josh.
And again, just scrolling through the chat here. 318 runner in the chat being trolling a little bit there. I think we've seen him or her in and out of the chat, blessing us with some wonderful comments. We appreciate you tuning in nonetheless.
Natalie, I can confirm pacers are mostly guiding runners at this point. I know it's a strategy of a lot who are not familiar with this area is to put the pacer in front and let them navigate, especially through the night sections. And I mean, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're having a spirited debate in the chat on a pretty non-issue in this sense, in terms of the cameraman helping direct runners through construction that is on the trail.
Right.
So, at the end of a 250-mile race, so yeah, I think we're all good. I think we can probably head on to the next chat topic.
Yeah, I agree.
This is actually a good one, though. Pacers also carry the beer. That's the other thing Pacers are for. Well, in some cases, maybe they carry the floata.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that way it doesn't explode when you open it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it took us a while some of us, I guess, to realize what floata actually was.
Oh yeah, I got to try it. Have you got to try it?
Yeah.
You got to try it. Good.
Yeah, I got to try it. Courtesy of Rob Martin, our wonderful volunteer who helped get some floata up here.
I have to check something real fast.
Oh yeah, someone was asking us to just check a camera feed here real quick. Yeah, so we do have the camera feed back up at Munns Park here. And we also are still on Mike Grunwagen and Mika Thews.
And shout out to drone operator Jason Peters for fixing that camera for us.
Yeah, huge shout out to Jason.
He's been all over this week. I mean, all the drone operators have. Troy, Q, Enzo.
Yep. And let's I think we lost our Brian cam, but we should have runners coming up on the Shad cam here momentarily. Oh yeah, they're just coming up the hill here still, so we should see them in just a matter of moments.
So there was an ask in the chat for an update on Sally. She is at mile 222, so she's about 6 miles from Walnut Canyon Aid Station. Current speed 2.4, so the next hour and a half.
Yeah, so
2
this
hours.
is an interesting question. Chris, what makes you say that the streets aren't well marked, I guess, would be my question. I believe every single turn at a bare minimum and every probably major intersection has a kind of Cocodona sticker on the ground that showcases whether you're going straight or turning.
Yep. And
But if there's maybe missing pin flags or things like that.
I mean, there is one visible there on that corner, and I imagine there's a sticker on the ground somewhere nearby with a directional arrow pointing across.
But I mean, you do have a fair point here. I think that trying to navigate any section through here,
Right.
When you're tired is hard, and I think we saw that last year as well. I know that we had a runner who ended up missing this turn, going straight down the big hill there, turning left, and then coming back on course a block or two later. So he actually would have run a little bit longer there, if anything. And yeah, Chris, so you wouldn't probably see some of the markers because they're going to be down, like, stickered onto the sidewalk. That's kind of how they try to mark, I think, a good majority of the course through towns, just to avoid kind of any sort of real disruption.
Right. You'd have to spend some effort peeling that off of the ground as opposed to pulling a flag.
You know, I can support this from Chris After Dark. We might need Cocodona footprints, like Western states, or better yet, painted colored donuts on the ground that lead runners in.
Like Cocodonuts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, maybe we've got some people out cheering there near the hospital.
Love to see it.
Okay, so Bill in Colorado, according to the tracker data, looks like maybe they started running around the Prescott area.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they didn't start running together?
Correct.
I see. I got it.
Yeah, and here we go. Love to see them coming by the hospital. We just got to see on the kind of delayed stream that's going that you're seeing. We got to see the fist bump there. I think I missed that in real time. I just saw the folks out there.
Yep, me too.
Okay, yeah. So it seems like they just team up together whenever it naturally occurs. They ran 70 miles of the Tahoe 200 together. So once they link up, they're probably very comfortable.
I mean, it seems like, I mean, earlier even their strides were matched up for quite a while. Like, it seems like they're pretty compatible on their pacing, and I'm sure in other ways as well if they've spent that many miles together at this point.
Well, yeah, they're probably just comfortable with each other's personalities, and probably at this point know when when they want to talk to each other and when they don't. They can probably really get that feel.
That's important. And you don't have to worry about all the pacer logistics. You don't have to worry about shuttling, transportation. Just go all the way together, you know? Simplify it. How many runners are there? That's a good question. It was in total there was a little less than 400, I want to say, between all three distances.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think around 200, just over 200 in the 250.
Yeah.
And here they are at the intersection going past Beaver Street Liquors here. You can see right there the yellow marking that they just ran over at their feet. You'll have to look real closely. That is one of those. That is one of those stickers. Let's see. It looks like, yeah, including Canyons, Glazes. Andy Glaze is about to be at 280 miles. Yeah, the inaugural Coca Canyons 350 participant. He did say, I believe when we chatted with him at Mingus Mountain aid station on social, that he's gonna do the double again next year, and if anyone else wants to sign up for the challenge, that he will make them a free shirt.
I heard that. I heard him
So-
say that in at Dead Horse actually. So
I don't know. Do you think a free shirt is
it's a pretty cool shirt.
is worth the investment?
I don't know. It's a pretty cool shirt. I mean, that's just. I mean, this whole thing is monumental. But imagine running 100, flying about the day before, getting 1 day of rest. Hats off to him.
Yeah, and we will be keeping our eyes and ears open on kind of the next cutoff, which is going to be at Sedona here in about 50 minutes or so. I don't think we have a camera feed out at Sedona right now, but at a bare minimum, we will keep our eyes glued, and we'll stay in constant contact with our race command for updates there. Do we know whose feed this is, Bryce?
It's probably Mandy. I want to say that's Mandy.
If Mandy has her feed up and can hear me, if she can turn her orientation lock off on her phone, I might be able to pull her feed in a little bit. And if you're just tuning in here, we are following Mika Thews and Mike Groenwegen. This is our third place female finisher and our sixth place male finisher, as they are now just 1 block away. Once they get through this little construction here, this will be Cherry Street, so they're going to keep going straight at Cherry Street here. And the next street they pass after this, or the next street they reach, will be Birch Street, where they'll make, Bryce, the most iconic left-hand turn in all of sports.
I've been waiting to hear that like the whole event.
Oh, I've said it a handful of
I'm
times.
sure.
This is, it obviously comes across as a bit, but it is serious how monumental this left-hand turn is.
Yeah.
It kind of culminates this incredible journey for all of these runners. And I did just get a message from Jason. Well, he was actually asking you, but I'm in the chat as well. Yeah, the Munns Park static cam does look great. So thanks for getting that set up. And here we have Mika and Mike. I assume they're gonna run it in together here.
That would
Right?
seem appropriate.
It would seem on brand for what we've seen, and it has to just be so cool for these two who have just shared so many miles to be able to finally put a stamp on this incredible journey.
Just imagine. I mean,
And it looks like we're going to go the alternate way to the finish here. So we'll have Shad stay on them. Sometimes runners have to turn right here and then cut through to the finish right here because they, I believe there is some sort of government building there where they lock the gates in order to transfer. I don't know what they're transferring, but they have a vehicle. And so here we are, Mika Thews, Mike Groenewegen, finishers of the 2023 Cocodona 250. That is your third place female, ladies and gentlemen. Just such an incredible race from Mika Thews.
What an iconic left turn.
And we have Brett deciding to scream across the place here about the iconic turn. I think he just can't wait until the mic is his. He's getting the vocals warmed up. Mike Groenewegen, 6th place male. Such an incredibly strong run from both of these individuals, and a lot of teamwork on display there. Yeah, everyone's laughing. Of course, you could hear Brett in the background.
Brett's ghost.
And again, we do have, and it looks like, let me try and see if I can get, yeah, it looks like we may have Jamil tuning in here in just a minute, so no, once we get Jamil's feet up, we may be able to chat with him. You can see him to the kind of just off out of frame to the right of the screen where that iMac is set up.
I think that's the jam audio right there.
Yeah, we don't have any video. Is there no video?
No video.
Oh, no video. Audio only.
Matt,
Jamil,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, I didn't know that was audio only. My bad.
I think we might need to click
No,
that.
all good.
I don't know
We're
if they
just
could hear
I'm
us.
driving back from Phoenix, so I just wanted to pop in if you want to figure I could chit chat.
And if the chat could let us know,
Did you
can
get
can you hear
Some
Jamil?
sleep?
Yeah, I got a good 70 minutes or so of sleep. I'm following the Coop philosophy here. I believe 70 minutes is the lower end of the recommended window. I believe the top end's around 100 minutes. So, you know, I'm actually feeling quite great, I might add. You know, I think I'm feeling a little bit better than Bryce is because he's been sleeping maybe too much for what you need. I don't know.
I got 2 hours, so I think that is on the high end of the spectrum.
And we are. I am
seems like we
trying to
need to
wait on confirmation from the chat as to whether they can hear Jamil here. Chat is being a little
I'm
quiet.
here. Someone says loud and clear, so I don't
Okay,
know.
excellent.
If someone says loud and clear, then we're going to be pushing forward. Jamil, how are you doing? Have you been able to stay up to date on kind of the happenings of the race so far since you had to, or since you left to head down to Phoenix?
A little bit, yeah. Bryce and I were. I was joining Bryce for a bit. I could sense he was feeling a little lonely, so I jumped in with him for a brief period. We got to see Jeff Garmeyer pass Eliza Wright, basically almost in the finishing alley, the reroute alley, alternative alley.
Yep.
And then, yeah, but other than that, I think in the last half hour, I'm a little out of the loop.
Yeah, so I think since then, these are our two newest finishers. So we did just have Mika Thews come through, our women's our women's third place finisher, and she finished right with Mike Groenwegen, who is our men's sixth place runner. So those two started running together at about Whiskey Row, or coming into Whiskey Row somewhere just before Whiskey Row. And so they shared, 175 miles of the race here. Neither of them are crewed, I don't believe. So just relying on drop bags and aid stations and each other's company, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. And Jason, our pilot, one of our drone pilots, says that they do that at a lot of the races together. So,
Yeah,
so both of them came in, or was it just Micah?
No, they both came in together. I think
Okay.
Mike
Okay,
Groenwegen
nice. Yeah.
took a step back just so that Micah could finish in front of him. But, yeah, they came in right together.
Cool. Well, I'm on my way back up to the finish line area, Matt. So hopefully, I mean, we can keep chatting for a while, but hopefully we can get, maybe some interviews with some of the finishers as they come in, and I can maybe man the commentator booth for a while once I get back up there.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. It looks like based on the tracker, and again, we're at the mercy of the updates here, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of time before we have eyes on our next runner at the finish. We have Killian Korth, who has kind of rallied back from the depths of the underworld here. He is basically at the summit of Mount Eldon,